Hey folks, Nick here from another BookTube channel, and today I am talking about book series that I need to stop messing around with and just finish already. This is stuff that I have begun and I've enjoyed at least a little bit that I want to continue the series on, but I keep getting distracted by other things, and these things just keep getting pushed back and back and back, and it's reaching a point where I might get to be 40 years old and some of these series aren't done yet. And some of them are really long, so I've really got to get the ball rolling here. So I'll go ahead and start with the first one, which is the Expanse series. This is the first book, Leviathan Wakes. I have read the first 3 books in this series, and I love it. I absolutely love the series. I don't know why it's taking me so long to pick up book 4. Actually, that's not true. I know why. I know why it's taking me so long. Because I want the physical copies of them. And I don't know why this is, but I've never paid full price for an Expanse book, and I've got it in my head that I don't want to. I don't ever want to pay full price for an Expanse book. So I got this one as a gift, and then books 2 and 3, I both found them at different secondhand stores, used bookstores. And so now I'm like a dog that found a chicken bone in a bush once, where now every time I pass that bush, I'm checking for a chicken bone. Now every time I go to a used bookshop, I'm looking for the next book in the Expanse. And if I don't find it, I'm just going to go check again. And if I see a new copy of it at a bookstore, I'm like, but you know what? I might be able to get one at a secondhand bookshop instead. So I think that's the reason why it's really stupid, and I've just got to get the 4th book already. I also really want to finish the series because I want to watch the TV show. I watched the first season and a half of the TV show, and I enjoyed it a lot, and that's what made me switch over to the book series. But I don't want to go back to the TV show until I finish the books. So of everything in this video, the Expanse is the most likely to get read the soonest, for all of those reasons. But I need to just buy a new copy of the 4th book. I have to stop being ridiculous. The next series is the First Law series. I've read only The Blade itself. It's a trilogy of books. And the second book is Before They Are Hanged. The reason this one is taking me so long to get to the second one is that I didn't love this book. And people love The First Law. People are crazy about The First Law by Joe Abercrombie. And it didn't do a lot. This first book didn't do a lot for me. It was very character-driven fantasy. I prefer plot-driven fantasy very much. So it's just like a personal taste thing. But I didn't dislike it. It just didn't grab me the way I expected it to, considering how much people love The Blade itself. Love The First Law as a whole. So this one, it's another one of it's just one of those situations where I want to keep going. I'm sure it's great, but when I think back on my experience with the first one, I was like, yeah, I liked it. Let me read something else before that. So maybe one day. Hopefully one day, because there's got to be something to it that I'm missing, but not right now. Next is one that this one's gonna take the longest, I think, to finish, but I do want to finish it, and that's Malazan Book of the Fallen. I have only read the first 2 books. I started Memories of Ice. According to my Kindle, I got about 15% done with it. And then I needed to stop because the new Brandon Sanderson book came out, Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, and I didn't want to sit on that. I wanted to read that book right away, so I did, and I loved it, and I don't regret that decision. But now that I've put Memories of Ice down, I'm finding it very difficult to go back to it. And it's not because I'm not enjoying it. I am enjoying it. It's very good, but I'm in a mood right now where I just want to read quickly. I want to read a lot of stuff quickly. And Malazan is not a quick read at all. It is, okay, get ready to read only this book for the next 3 weeks. And that's just not what I'm looking for in my life at this time. But I do want to read it. I definitely want to continue it. At least as of right now. After Memories of Ice, if I finish it and I'm like, this is too much for me, maybe I'll change my mind. But as of this recording, I do intend to finish Malazan Book of the Fallen by Steven Erikson at some point. The next series is the Dune saga, specifically the Frank Herbert books, because Dune is like, I don't know, like 20, 25 books deep now. That might even be a conservative estimate. I want to read the Frank Herbert Dune stuff. So I've read Dune Messiah, I've read Children of Dune, and I have not read God Emperor of Dune. And the reason for that is because while I love Dune and I love Dune Messiah, I did not care for Children of Dune. It was like, there's stuff in it that's good. Like I like it at the saga as a whole, but that individual book was a bit of a slog to me. And I am concerned that God Emperor of Dune will be the same, and I don't really want to deal with that. But I feel like an obligation to finish what Frank Herbert was able to put out before he passed away. I have no interest in the Brian Herbert Dune books. I've heard just too many negative or mixed things about them to even bother with that. So that was 4 of them. The 5th one, and this one really coming out of nowhere, but because I don't think I've ever talked about this series even in passing on a video before, but by Jason Pargin, the John Dies at the End books. These are books that I read a really long time ago, and I loved them. They were so much fun. The first book in the series is John Dies at the End. The second book is This Book is Full of Spiders, with the subtitle, Seriously, Dude, Don't Touch It. And the third book is, I think it's just called What the F Did I Just Read? And there's a 4th book that came out recently, and it reminded me about the series, because I had forgotten about it, honestly. And that one's called If This Book Exists, You're in the Wrong Universe. Something like that. Really funny title. And once I saw that book came out, I was like, you know what? I would really love to reread that series and then read that 4th book to cap it off. So I have no idea when I'll be able to fit that time in for those 4 books. I don't own any of them, so I'd have to buy all of them. Or I'd go to the library. I could use the library. But I would have to obtain them in some capacity and then do a reread of all 3 and then add on the 4th one. But I really want to, because it was a fun damn series. You know, it was funny. It had some horror stuff in it. It was bloody and violent and crazy, and weird, like really weird, kind of absurdist horror comedy. And it's not. I've never read anything else like it, so I want to revisit that series. But yeah, those are the 5 series. Yeah, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 series that I need to finish, that I really want to finish. Let me know if you have finished any of those. Let me know if there's any that you finished that you think I should stop on. Like if there's no point in continuing. But really, I think all of these I really do want. I want to finish all of them. So we'll see how it goes. Let me know your thoughts about these series in the comments. Thank you for spending some time with me today. But now, it's time to get back to reading these series.